we're going to go ahead and start it. We have guys like Jaime that, I don't know, Jaime's like a little different. Somebody had to be on the call and I had to invite Jaime. So anyway, we're here. I'm going to go around real quick and we have Veronica, we have Jason, we have Tim. Tim Zoller's been down a bunch of times. We have Lanny. Lanny, what, where are you from, Lanny?
Where am I from?
Yeah, where are you from?
Originally, I was.
What's, in other words, what city do you live in?
I.
Some of the questions are kind of hard. I'm trying to start easy tonight.
I live in Walnut.
Live in Walnut. Lanny helps me with the Marine event on Thanksgiving and is one of our best photographers. So thank you, Lanny, for being here. Lanny might go with us to Columbia also. Then we have Dee Kersey. Dee, where do you live now? He is muted, so.
I thought you were going to unmute me, man. You muted us all. I thought you were gonna...
I'm not that good, bro. You got to like take care of yourself.
I actually live in Mesa, Arizona, as of the past week and a half.
So Dee is in charge of all our vehicles at Power Plus, and also Dee is doing a GU trip to Nigeria, I think in November. Then we have a pastor on the call. Pastor, we'll try to watch our language. I'll keep an eye on Dee for you. And where are you calling from, Pastor? Mr. Earl? We can't hear you, Earl, but since I understand the gift of tongues, I think you're saying, hi, it's nice to see everybody. So Earl still, we can't hear Earl.
I have the same gift, Dan. He just said that Dee is very effective.
Yes, he said what? He said Dee is what?
I want to fight Dee.
He said Dee's a good-looking guy. That's what he said.
Yeah, that's what he said. That's good interpretation. We'll let you know when you can talk again, Dee. We have Dan Racine. Dan, where are you from? Dan, you're muted. So let me see if I can learn how to unmute. Dan, can you hear us?
Yeah, Mountain View, Bay Area.
Mountain View. What do you do, Dan?
Nothing right now.
Nothing? All right.
I had to lay myself off.
You're in the printing business, right?
I am in the printing business, but not too many people are printing right now.
Okay, so for those of you who pray for people, pray for Dan. He's one of the business guys in this group, and business guys are very important because they also make donations to our ministries and our nonprofits. So, Dan, you're in the printing business, right? Are you all the way down to zero, or where are you at?
I'm down to probably about, I lost probably about 80% of my business.
Okay.
So it made sense to lay myself off and collect unemployment. So that's what I'm doing.
Okay, well, we got a great system going these days.
Yep. So that's what we're doing, and I'm still giving, so that's okay. Don't worry about it. Life is good.
All right, thanks, Dan.
I have a wife that's working now, so that's kind of nice.
Awesome. That works out good that way.
Yep.
I tried that once. We have Dave Edmondson on the call. Dave, why don't you say hi, and where are you from?
Hello, nice to be with you guys. I'm from Yorba Linda.
Yorba Linda, and Dave's one of our guests tonight. He is you'll see the orphanage video in just a few minutes as soon as I quit talking. Jaime, where are you from?
Compton, Michigan.
You're from Michigan?
Compton, Michigan.
Compton, Michigan. Thank you, Jaime. That's enough out of you. And my brother Steve, where are you from? Steve, this is where you unmute yourself. I unmuted him. My brother Steve is in Dallas.
Yeah, I'm in Dallas, Texas.
There you go. Okay, way to be on your game. Norma's on the call, but Norma I don't think can hear us because her little thing's spinning. And then we have Tim Ludden. Tim, how you doing? We can't see
I'm doing
you.
great.
You can't hear us?
I can hear you. I don't know why
okay.
my video is not working, but hey, just so you know, since none of you heard, Earl Heverly is from Cornerstone Church in Sacramento.
Awesome. And Tim, where are you from?
I'm in Dublin, California.
Dublin, okay. And Tim has a group of restaurants that he's the general manager of. Is it 4 or 5, Tim?
6.
6. Okay. So anyway, Tim's just gearing back up. Are you open at all yet, Tim? Or not open yet?
Well, we never fully closed. We're doing takeout and delivery only. Our county is still shut, shelter in place.
So you're still shut down?
We are.
Okay. So you can also pray for Tim that he gets, they gear up and like he stays in business and that kind of good stuff. Tim, did I call on you? Where'd you go, Tim? Tim Zola? Oh, there you are. Tim, where are you from?
I am in Southern California near Temecula, if everybody knows where that is.
Awesome. That's near wine country. So some of the winos in this group will probably shoot right on over. Well, listen.
Orange County, there is a whole.
Whoopsie. So I'm going to share a video. We're going to start with the first part. Was supposed to start on about 7 minutes ago. I'm going to share a video of the orphanage stop that we're going to make. And I gotta mute somebody here. And I gotta share the video properly. There we go. And screen 2. So I'm gonna play this video. This is the orphanage at Rancho.
Just 2 hours away.
Rancho La Hermosa Orphanage. And our friend Dave is from this orphanage, and Dave won't get to talk as much because we're showing a video that's better than him talking. So anyway, that's what we're doing.
From Southern California, Orange County, there is a whole different world.
Can you guys hear that okay? Thumbs up if you can.
There are lots of children that are on the streets.
Hey, Dan, are you sharing your screen? Are we supposed to see a video?
What's that?
Are you sharing your screen? Are we supposed to see a video or just hear?
No, you're supposed to see it.
No, I'm not. We're not seeing it.
Is anybody seeing a video?
No, you are not sharing.
Share your screen, Dan.
All right, let's try it again. I clicked on it, but I didn't hit share. Really funny, D. Busted me again. All right, here we go.
California, Orange County, there is a whole different.
Can you see it now?
World. There are lots of children that are on the streets. They are victims of drug abuse or severe poverty, also sexual abuse. What happens to a child that finds himself or herself on the street? Where do they go? Who cares for them? Sadly, there are many, many situations where kids come to orphanages severely abused and hurt significantly. The Mexican government's systems of child care are very antiquated, and so they get a minimal care. The question that I like to ask people is, what do you want to do with the things that God has given you? You know, the favor, the tenacity, the things you're good at, your finances, your energy, your motivations. How wonderful would it be to take those things and invest in the future, and specifically to invest in kids that have nothing and no one? I feel fortunate that I live so close to this situation because I can take the resources and the favor and the things that God has given us as a family and a community, and I can bring them into the Tijuana situation and really affect lasting change with these kids. What we learned is that really our calling is to have our own orphanage. So many people have rallied around us to make phase 1 a reality, from the playground, the soccer field, and all of the infrastructure to make this orphanage open has happened, and we're so excited about it. We had a series of miracles. One of them, the mayor of Rosarito got involved, and she actually marshaled through the entire city system, our licensing. In 7 months, we were able to accomplish what most organizations would take 2.5 years to do. The road is an absolute gargantuan task that is now completed. It's 9 feet wide, 6 inches deep, full of rebar, 1.4 miles. And it's a game changer because now we can go up and down in the rain and have no worries. Any child that makes their way to an orphanage has had horrific things done to them. By the time they make it to the orphanage, they are very wounded and very frightened. In some cases, children that we've received have never even had their own bed or their own belongings. One of my favorite things is to go into the dorm rooms and to just observe all of the way the kids have made it their home. They have their own personal space. They've got their own blankets and toys and hair ribbons and things that really make it a home for them. We have established a tutoring program because our kids are so far behind in school. In some cases, they have years of gaps of education. It's really an important part of growing and thriving, and we're just excited to be able to provide that, and really we're focused on providing it for many more kids. As you read through almost every book of the Bible, it says over and over that God loves the orphan, the motherless, the fatherless, the alien. And so there is a mandate that we live by, and that is to do the things that are important to God. God's heart for the orphan was long before I existed and will be long after I'm gone. And I've got a window in time, along with many other people, where we are the hands and feet. So, we're motivated for that.
So anyway, that is the orphanage that we are going to do a project at for part of our Giving University project. So I just wanted you guys to get a little bit of a flavor of one generation. And Dave, you want to kind of give us an idea what we have in mind for our project?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, we've been open about 1.5 years, and God has been so gracious to us. We're growing like crazy. We just received 9 new kids last week, so mostly because of COVID. So they're emptying out the holding facilities for the kids, and they're placing them in orphanages, which is a great thing for the kids. One of our long-term goals that you guys will be a part of is we're building a facility where we can host groups on site, which is really important to us because then we can capture a little bit of revenue from the groups. Typically when groups visit, they'll pay $15 per person per night to stay at a facility in town. So once we build our facility, which will be done by the time your group gets there, we'll be able to host the groups on site at the orphanage. And then all the revenue from that will go directly into bringing more kids into the orphanage. So it's just 100% pass through. And our goal is, as we manage the visitor center, to be able to generate enough revenue off of it to bring in 10 to 15 kids annually, just by managing the resources we have. So we need to build a whole bunch of bunk beds in order to house everybody. The facility will hold 72. So we're going to be building a bunch of bunk beds, 2x6, 2x4 construction, with bolts and washers. We'll make them strong because we'll have lots of groups coming through. And so that's kind of the crux of the project coming in October.
Okay, and when we do our trip, we do a Tuesday, or I guess we do Wednesday, Thursday project, and probably Tim will be our lead on this part of our project, Tim Zoller. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of share that with you. It's a great orphanage, great location. So it's a lot of fun. Dave's done a great job. He's worked hard the last 4 or 5 years. Does anybody have any questions for Dave?
I only have a comment. I haven't been to that orphanage for probably, I think it was 2 years, Dave, when we hooked up that generator.
Yes, I remember.
seeing the pictures, the overhead pictures and everything, I didn't recognize it at first, and I was like
Yeah.
trying to pinpoint the generator location just to make sure it was the same place.
Yep.
And they started in the video. You started talking about the road, and they finally completed the road. The place looks awesome.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
such a neat facility.
Yes, God is so generous to us. He gives us much more than we ask for.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Dave. I wanted to introduce you and Jason. I've been trying to get you and Jason together for a long time. Jason's our executive director at Aqua Viva, so you're both on the same call. So anyway, at some point, I'll get you guys to like, do the elbow thing or whatever we're supposed to do these days. And
Yeah, it's good to see you, Dave. We emailed, but it's nice to see match a face to the name, and that's awesome what you guys are doing up in Rosarito. We'd love to connect and see what we can do together. But it's good to see, good to get to know the orphanage a little bit and see the video.
That's awesome. I look forward to that day. That'd be great.
And maybe one day we can host the kids at Aqua Viva. That'd be a great thing to do. Let's jump to PowerWeek. Jason, why don't you go ahead and give us an update on PowerWeek?
So is the orphanage near Tijuana? Is that what you said?
No, the orphanage is, Dave, how far south of Tijuana is the orphanage? And how far north of Ensenada is it?
15 miles south of Rosarito, right on the coast.
And how far north of Ensenada?
Probably 40 minutes.
Yeah, at the most. Yeah.
So probably, an hour and 10 minutes probably from Agua Viva, I would guess.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark, about an hour, I think. So anyway, some of you on the call don't know about Giving University. We're a nonprofit and we teach people on generosity. We'd love everybody to come to Giving University that lives in the United States. And we're starting with a group of classes again in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So if you have any interest, let me know. And an exciting thing is we're starting our Kids Giving University tomorrow night. So I'll be on another Zoom call because I just live on Zoom now. That's what I do. So anyway, we're pretty excited. We got kids and their parents or their grandparents or their guardians, and we're going to have a little project actually down in Mexico next year. So pretty excited about all that. Anyway, PowerWeek, let's kind of morph into PowerWeek, Jason, and then once you're kind of you feel like you're updated, then go ahead and let's talk a little bit about our food project.
Okay. So thanks everyone for joining on the call and taking this time. Some of you are more familiar with PowerWeek than others. PowerWeek is the only event during the year where individuals come from different places, some from Orange County, others from the Bay Area, and we host other teams throughout the year at Agua Viva, but PowerWeek is focused on helping us develop the campsite. So there's a big emphasis on construction or maintenance or projects. And PowerWeek's just a huge blessing for us because, again, through most of the year, we're hosting teams, whether Americans or Mexicans, about close to 6,000 people a year come through. And it's a lot of wear and tear. It's a lot of needs. But PowerWeek is such a blessing because you guys come and invest in the campground, and you guys, most of you know what you're doing, which is a great help because usually we have high schoolers on our teams and we're trying to figure things out. But I just want to first say that PowerWeek is, we look forward to it. We prepare for months, and it makes a lasting change every year. So thank you for your PowerWeek. We had it planned for the spring. We had to cancel because of COVID. So our dates right now are September 29th through October 4th. So last weekend or first weekend in October, if you want to look at it that way. I know, everything has changed for all of us this year. Things are strange and uncertain, but if you would like to come, please mark it on your calendar. Even if we're not sure what we're going to be doing in September, October. We have several projects. We have our biggest project is building a welcome center, which we've been greatly blessed that we got funding for the building. Which is not usually how it happens for us. So we have the money to build it. Our staff here are going to have the floor laid, the cement floor, and then during Power Week, we're going to build the walls, which are going to be a steel structure, and the roof, which is going to be a wooden roof. So that's going to be our big project. And then we also have a deck that we want to build in the last cabin. Those are familiar with Agua, the last cabin going down by the creek, which is Las Rosas or Betania. We want to build a deck where we can put a couple tables and chairs, and that's going to look really cool when it's done. Last year, we had some lockers built for our Bible school students in quad number 3, which is our guys' dorm, and we want to do the same for our girls who are in quad number 4. So we have that project, and then we have for Jaime and Tim. We've been dealing with our generators a lot. We have 3 working generators, but they all 3 have broken down in the last 2 weeks. So we've been doing a lot of repairs on our generators. But as far as electric, we want to do set in some poles and do some exterior lighting between the kitchen and the office, because usually that's dark and people are walking up and down at night. So that's as far as our electric. And we have a couple more projects, hanging some cabinets in our kitchen and installing the sink. Oh, there's the welcome center. So the welcome center there is when you just drive into Agua Viva, that'll be as you drive in. The building on the right is the kitchen, and the idea for the welcome center is that it will be a place for visitors or students to hang out. There'll be a receptionist there. There'll be ping pong tables, some lounge areas, basketball, soccer balls will be there. Just a place for people to gather, to connect, spend time together, and it'll be right at the center of camp. So it's going to be really nice when that's finished. So that's our big project there. So we're looking forward to Power Week, and from our perspective, this has been so strange to not have our Mexican camps and groups throughout the spring. We have a couple things on the calendar for July, but we're still unsure whether we're going to be able to have them or not. But since the campground is empty, we've been working hard. We're building some things, mostly building with cement, getting some projects that we had. We're going to do a lot of painting. So we're trying to take advantage of the fact that we're not working as normal, so we can get some work done on the camp and make it beautiful and get prepared for when we do open up again. We can offer an outstanding camping experience to those who come.
And Jason, you guys had some activity yesterday, is that correct?
We had, yes, we had we live in a high risk area for fires. It was usually September, October, when Santa Ana winds time. So it's not normal for this time of year, but it's very dry, very hot. And then we got a lot of winds yesterday. So there was actually four fires that started around Ensenada and 10 around Tijuana. And we had one fire that wasn't one of the biggest fires, but it was very close to us. It was less than a mile west of where we are, and the winds were heavy coming towards us. So it really shook us. It's the first time since I've been here. Gabi, who's the head of maintenance, went out to see it, and he came back and he said, "Let's prepare to evacuate." So we had everyone pack a bag in case we needed to evacuate. And then we got tools ready, and we have a water tank and different things. So we were preparing, and then we were able to go down where the fire was. There was a group of firefighters there, about 14 of them, and they asked us to go help them there. And we were very lucky, I want to say, or God helped us, because the fire was contained. There's a hill, about less than a mile away, and there's a road, an access road that served as a perfect fire break. So when we got there, the firefighters had it mostly contained. We just helped, the spot fires, put them out. And if it would have gone past the road, it probably wouldn't have stopped. Nothing else would have stopped it before Agua Viva. So we are so grateful for God's help, and we trust in Him. But it's scary.
Oh, for sure. We had a bad fire there. Some of you may or may not know. I think 5 years ago, we had a fire that actually burned on part of the property, probably 5% of the property. got burned down. So it gets pretty hairy sometimes. We have pretty good fire breaks down there, and I think we have good relationship with the fire department.
Yeah.
And they've been really helpful in keeping our fire breaks pretty good. So
Yeah.
anyway, well, let's go ahead and jump into the last topic, and that's let me
This
share this.
Somos
screen.
Iglesia,
The,
the food drive.
The food drive.
Okay.
We've been doing a food drive for a while, and Jason's going to talk a little bit and update us on how that's going. If you have friends that can help, I bug almost everybody I know to help see if they will give us a $20 box of food that helps a family for a week. So you guys are always just so generous, and so we're not trying to bang you for more funding or anything. But if there's ways you can have friends help, or your kids or your grandkids, or somebody at work, $20 kind of goes a long way. So go ahead, Jason, kind of update us on how that's going.
So, here in Ensenada, there's many people who have lost their jobs, and there's a lot of people who work, who live day by day or week to week. And there's a lot of jobs that are informal, so they don't have job security. And we've been in lockdown since March 20th. And it was supposed to go to May 30th, and now they extended it all through June here in our state. Our state is one of the one with the highest number of cases in Mexico. So a lot of people are hurting. Churches have been closed down, and so a lot of pastors and their families, they go week to week. They live week by week, and they're still paying rent and other things. So we began, we put together boxes of food, mostly food, and then we put like a couple cleaning supplies, and we're taking them to local churches. We're working with 25 churches, and we have another 5 or 6 that are asking us for help. So we take about 10 boxes of food to a local church. We asked the pastor to keep one for himself and his family, and then to distribute the other 9, because the pastors know their communities very well, and so that to give it to whoever needs it the most. So about 60% have gone to Christian families, 40% to unchurched families. So it's a great way to just show God's love in the midst of this crisis. Each box costs us $20 to put together. We're going down to the south side of Ensenada, where there's some vegetable fields, and we're getting vegetables donated. We're getting a couple things donated, but we're buying most of it just in Costco or Sam's, filling up the boxes and then taking them out. So we started with 16 boxes the week of Easter, and then we've been growing from there. Right now we're doing 100 boxes a week. We're distributing 90 here in Ensenada, and 10 of them we're sending the money down for some missionaries who graduated from our Bible school, and they're feeding down in Jalisco. So 100 boxes a week, and that's been a huge blessing. And we're giving the boxes, but the church is the local churches are the ones that are actually distributing to the families. So that helps to establish relationships, and for the churches to connect with people from the congregation and from the community. And we thank God that as Dave said, God's been very generous to us as well. He's provided for us to be able to do this through this crisis. We probably the restrictions are going to loosen up in July, but there's still many people hurting. The economy is going to take a or already has taken a very hard hit in Mexico. So our plan is to continue at least through August, and then we'll see, depending on the funds that are available, how long we will continue. I mean, anything that comes in for the food drive will be used with that. So we'll see how the need is after. So we're with 100 boxes a week right now, which is $2,000, and if we're able to grow, we will. But this ministry has been a great opportunity to share with Ensenada in this time of need.
Jason, when you do the food drive, do you do all of the boxes in a single day, or do you spread it out? How do you do that?
We started all the boxes in a single day, but we found that our 15 passenger vans can hold about 50 max. So now we're doing two runs a week. Yeah.
And Dave Edmondson, you've been going back and forth to Mexico in this for most of this time, or tell us a little bit about how that's going.
Yeah, we still go every week. Um, we're very scripted with where we drive and what we do, and try and stay as protected as possible. But yeah, we're still going every week. It's funny, we have, when you cross, you're supposed to be crossing only as an essential worker. So I've got a whole packet of our Mexican nonprofit, our American nonprofit. They never ask me anything. I just blow straight through. I have it if they ever asked, but the border's open. The wait is minutes to cross. It's kind of a ghost town right now.
Is it minutes to cross both ways, or just going down?
It takes a few minutes to cross from the San Diego side into San Ysidro. I've got Century, so I cross quickly anyhow.
Oh,
but the
okay.
Century line's right next to the regular line, and the regular line, sometimes there's 10, 15 cars in it. Usually it's a 3-hour wait. Now it's just a few minutes.
Now, Dave, I know the children usually go to school if times are normal. Is there a time schedule for that to re-engage or restart, going back to school, or
No communication at all. We're up against it because our kids already come to us severely behind in school. We've got 10-year-olds that don't even read yet. So when we receive a child, we assess where they're at and what they need help with. But we have 2 tutors that have been coming up to the ranch every day. And essentially that is the kids' schooling. It's actually better than the public school. So we're grateful for it. Some local people that come up and volunteer their time and get paid a little bit here and there, but they're teaching the kids on a daily basis.
And Dave, how many kids do you guys have right now?
We have 28 now. We have phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 was build a building for 30 kids, get open, which we did, get licensed. And then phase 2, we're already setting our sights on building out more dorms so we can bring in more kids. Our goal is to have about 70. That's kind of the number we feel the Lord has told us to strive for.
Yeah, Dave does a really excellent quality. They keep the number down per unit. And Dave, how many kids are in a unit, and you have like a set of parents that kind of take care of the kids?
Yeah, we do. We're in our 12th year, so we've really we've been to so many orphanages and kind of observed the orphan care, especially in Baja. And what we feel called to is to have smaller family units. So we've got 10 children in a dorm room, and then a mom and dad that care for those 10. So adjacent to the dorm room, attached to it, is a room for the dorm parents. So the kids are prayed over every evening, tucked in. It's, an orphanage is not plan A. Plan A is family. An orphanage is plan B at best. But having a smaller family unit gives us an opportunity to care for the kids and nurture them just as best as possible. And it's working beautifully. We really see a lot of great results.
And Dave, how's the food situation for you guys?
We have lost some of our donor base, and they're the most lovely people. They'll call me and say, I lost my job, but when I am reemployed, I'll be back. So we struggle. We're still making ends meet, but it's a lot tighter. And we're able to keep our pantries relatively full. So yeah, I would say we're doing pretty good in spite of all the chaos right now.
Okay, thanks, Dave. I would just want, and all of you probably know this, when it's tough in America, it's magnified everywhere in the world, practically, everywhere. And so just south of us, it gets pretty grim just because. Hey, Jason, I have a question. What percentage of employment in that region is tourism, would you say?
I don't know officially. I would guess in Ensenada maybe 20 to 25%.
Okay. And
Between-
then what
go ahead.
do the other people do? What is kind of the mix?
The number one activity in both Ensenada and Tijuana area is our factories, mostly manufacturing, putting things together that are going to be exported to the States. And then number two is tourism. And then after that, we have agriculture and fishing and some other industries.
Okay. Jason, did you have any more on the food drive or anything further?
No,
Has it been pretty consistent on the amount of money you've been getting to provide for the 100 families?
well, it's been growing, and we've been able to, expand what we're doing as the money comes in. And I know some of you on the call have given, and we just want to thank you for that. And I mean, it's exciting for us, and it's a blessing to be able to share. And I think, we get to do the fun part of going, handing it out and seeing smiles on people's faces and be a blessing. We have, if you want to be a part of it, you can visit our website, aguaviva.com. And then the food drive is very easy to get to there. And you can see, like Dan said, each box, we're spending about $20 per box. That includes the food, the cleaning supplies, and the gas that we use to go distribute things.
Jason, we lost you for just a second there. He'll be back. Don't
We're
worry.
done for today, but we got set back yesterday with the fire. But we have some cool stories and pictures of what's going on.
Awesome. Anybody have any questions for Jason or Dave? Augusta, I see you're on the call. I think it's Augusta. Where are you calling from?
Hi, Dan.
Hi.
Yeah, so I'm in Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So I actually just finished up the 8-week Giving University course before I hopped on this call. So I was a little late. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. How did you like the course?
I thought it was great. Very informative. Just thought provoking. I just kind of see things in a new light now, as far as giving and different ways that you can give, and how to give responsibly and make sure that you're investigating different organizations and that sort of thing. So.
Awesome. I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I still.
That's okay.
So anyway, thanks, Augusta. I think you said Augusta. Is that correct?
Augusta, yeah, I think Augusta. Georgia. Well,
And
thanks.
Augusta, what this would be one of our service trips. When you go to Giving University, we give you do 7 weeks, 8 weeks. You get $1,000 grant for a local charity, and then we put you on trips. This particular group is the Mexico trip, and it's called a service trip where we actually do work. And then we also put you on big trips to places like Colombia, Lebanon, Peru, Philippines, places like that. So this is part of the experience in Giving University. And like I said, we're just introducing the kids Giving University tomorrow. And then we also partnered today with the inner city group that works within the inner city, helping people get jobs. And so we just formed a little partnership on doing a class of the alumni of people that get jobs. They don't have money so much that they can give, but we're trying to build them up and give them $1,000 to be able to give the local charity. So that's just really kind of exciting for me to see. So anyway, that's a little bit of a commercial for everybody. Aqua Viva, the orphanage, and Giving University. Does anybody have any questions or anything? I will say this, it does feel a lot more, and Tim and Jason and Veronica, you guys jump in. It feels a lot more to me like we will actually do this trip now. I know everything's really fluid. And I don't know, Tim, how are you feeling? What are you sensing? Is Tim still here?
You talking to this, Tim?
Yes, sir. You're the only Tim.
Yeah, I mean, I'm real hopeful that we'll be able to be down there and see your mug for a few days. You know, we've been trying to get this whole welcome center started, and we'd be real excited to kind of start pounding some nails or do something down there south of the border. So I'm real hopeful. Our guys are ready.
Okay. And Jason, what are you sensing? I know everything's been canceled. Are you guys sensing some activity or at least some probing a little more in my groups at this point?
I think July will be able to start. The way the Mexican government is directing us is that we will need to start at 25%, which for us would be 140 people. We have a bunch of things in place, thermometers when people come in, sanitation with vapor for the cabins, and a lot of the alcohol for the hands and everything. So we'll be doing distancing and taking care of things. But I think July will be start with smaller groups, and then August, I think by September things will be. Yeah, I mean we'll still be doing the distancing and the precautions, but I definitely think we can do it.
Also, we have a school or a seminary that starts in the fall, and we're going to go with a much limited number. What's the normal size, Jason, and what size are you going to run?
For the last 3 years, our normal size has been 40 students. Right now, this is actually the last week of classes right now. We've been able to continue through this since we're in a campground and we've been locked in together. Students, we're not having a graduation because we usually have guests and everything, but Friday is the end of our semester. We are going to limit the number for next semester to 25 students for financial reasons. And then also because we have the vision for the following year, 2021, to start with a full-on seminary, the 4-year school with a bachelor's degree. So in preparation for that, we're going to close out our current system and then start with that in 2021. So we're preparing for that.
Awesome. And Dave, what are you sensing out there, Dave Edmondson? Are you sensing any shift at all?
Not quite yet. We had quite a few groups on the schedule March through the end of the summer, and they're all canceled. We're hopeful that people will crawl out of their holes that they've been in and get back to going to the ranch. We call it the ranch. You guys call Agua Viva the ranch as well?
Yeah,
exactly.
we do.
Yeah, we had it first, Dave.
You had it first.
Yeah.
So
you're ranch too.
Yes, the ranch too. Well, so it's quiet. We're talking to the groups, but everybody's apprehensive. So we're just praying that this thing burns out and that we can get back to hosting groups sooner than later, but we don't know when.
Yeah. When we do our trip, we might be one of the first groups that kind of back, and so that's kind of another thing that might unfold. Alrighty, everybody. Any questions from anybody? Or
yeah, I was a little confused. Is Dave's bunk bed project happening during PowerWeek, or is that a separate thing?
The way it all works, Dan, is PowerWeek and Giving University, we're all combined as one big group. The Giving University group goes off on Wednesday and Thursday, and that's when that group would go to the orphanage. The regular PowerWeek group there just works at Aqua Viva, and this year we tried to expand that to Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So it's kind of like two groups combining for some stuff, and then the other stuff's kind of split off.
Got it. Thanks.
However, if you go through Giving University, you can do everything. Okie dokie. Veronica, do you have anything? You didn't get to say much, so.
No, just looking forward to going in September. I think you'll be super excited to go back to see Dave, helping out, you know, in that new project that he has. Just, we're excited. You know, everything's kind of on hold. We just kind of want things to go back to normal and move forward.
Yep. And Veronica will kind of be the test for GU. Her Columbia trip actually is scheduled to be before Power Week. But we, on all our trips, we're setting 2 dates right now. We're setting the fall date and we're setting the, we have to move it back date. So who knows? Going to Mexico 2 hours, 3 hours from here is one thing. Going in airplanes is a different story. So it's, you know, that's how it is right now. Earl, anything from you, my friend? Earl's.
Meet him.
Unmute Earl. Earl, can you hear me? I think Earl doesn't have audio. However, I can read lips, and Earl's saying that was a very good meeting. You guys did an awesome job. The moderator was really good. Jason was okay. Dave was okay. Jaime was a bit of a problem, but we always have one in each group. Thanks, Earl. Good input. All right, everybody. Thanks so much. I recorded the call, so if anybody wants to watch it, we'll have it. We may do one more Power Week update maybe in September, as we get closer. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to email me. And hang in there and get out of your caves, as Dave said. And Dave, you've been going down the whole time, right? For most of the time?
The whole time. Yep.
So
I've got my 5-gallon bucket of hand sanitizer. I just jump into it, get all cleaned up.
Yeah, is that what happened to your hair?
Yeah. There's not much left.
Exactly. I think some have burned away. Chip, anything from you, Mr. Zoller? You're going to build a bunch of bunks for us, so get ready.
Looking forward to it. The only question I had, and I know you guys had mentioned it on the original GU trip, was the coffee shop. Is that still going forward as well?
That's changed a little bit, and we might still do that's with Nora. One of our GU stops is special needs, and Nora's shifted a little bit to probably a coffee cart. So I'm not sure exactly yet what we'll do, but we funded her a little more just recently. And so we'll see.
I look forward to going back to that camp above Rosarito, man. The views from that place were awesome.
Well, don't tell everybody, because then nobody wants to go out to Viva. All right, you guys, thanks so much. And I appreciate you guys. All you guys are awesome. And I'll see you next time.
Thanks, Dan.